Many children and adults today are more interested in gaming, Snapchat, and TikTok. They don't read the Bible anymore and learn about my history or the history of my ancestors. The world is going in the wrong direction now.
Yes, it's sad, really. People should learn more about all the exciting stories in the Bible, not to mention what they can teach us.
We've got to do something about it, Dad.
Certainly, son, let's share the stories ourselves.
In ancient Persia, King Ahasuerus ruled a vast empire. He sought a new queen, and among the beautiful maidens was Esther. Esther, a Jewish orphan, was raised by her cousin Mordecai. She found favor with the king and became queen, concealing her heritage. Meanwhile, Haman, a proud and powerful official, rose in the king's court. He demanded all bow before him, but Mordecai refused, honoring God alone. Enraged, Haman plotted to destroy all the Jews throughout the kingdom. He deceived the king, obtaining a decree for their annihilation on a specific day. Mordecai, in sackcloth and ashes, mourned openly, sending word to Esther. He urged her to intercede with the king, to plead for her people. Esther was afraid. Approaching the king unsummoned meant certain death. Unless the king extended his golden scepter, she would perish. Mordecai's words were stark. If you remain silent, relief will come, but you and your father's house will perish. Who knows if you came to royalty for such a time as this? Esther, deeply moved, sent back a message to Mordecai. She asked all the Jews in Susa to fast for 3 days and nights for her. I and my attendants will also fast, she declared. Then I will go to the king, and if I perish, I perish. Her resolve was firm. After 3 days, Esther dressed in her royal robes and stood in the inner court. The king, seated on his royal throne, saw Queen Esther standing there. He was pleased with her and extended the golden scepter toward her. Esther approached and touched the tip of the scepter, her life spared. The king asked, "What is it, Queen Esther? What is your request? It shall be granted you, even to half of my kingdom." Esther invited the king and Haman to a banquet she had prepared. At the banquet, the king again asked her request. Esther invited them to a second banquet. Haman left the first banquet joyful, but his pride was wounded by Mordecai's defiance. At his wife's suggestion, he built gallows 75 feet high to hang Mordecai. That night, the king couldn't sleep. He ordered the chronicles to be read. They recounted how Mordecai had once exposed a plot against the king's life. The king asked what honor had been bestowed upon Mordecai for this. His attendants replied, "Nothing has been done for him." Just then, Haman entered to ask for permission to hang Mordecai. The king asked Haman, "What should be done for the man whom the king desires to honor?" Haman, thinking the king meant him, suggested lavish honors. The king then commanded Haman to do all these things for Mordecai. Haman, humiliated, led Mordecai through the city in royal attire. At the second banquet, the king again pressed Esther for her request. Esther bravely revealed her identity and Haman's wicked plot. "If it pleases the king, let my life be granted me, and my people's lives. For we have been sold, I and my people, to be destroyed, slain, and annihilated." The king, furious, asked, "Who is he, and where is he, who has dared to do this?" Esther pointed to Haman. "The adversary and enemy is this wicked Haman." Haman was terrified. The king, in a rage, left the banquet hall. When he returned, Haman was pleading with Esther, having fallen on her couch. The king exclaimed, "Will he even assault the queen in my presence?" Immediately, Haman was seized and hanged on the very gallows he built for Mordecai. On that day, King Ahasuerus gave Queen Esther the house of Haman. Mordecai was brought before the king, for Esther had revealed who he was. The king removed his signet ring, which he had taken from Haman, and gave it to Mordecai. Esther appointed Mordecai over Haman's estate, but the decree to destroy the Jews still stood. Esther pleaded again. The king allowed Esther and Mordecai to write a new decree. It granted Jews the right to defend themselves against their attackers. The Jews triumphed over their enemies, and joy filled the land. The festival of Purim was established to commemorate their deliverance. From this story, we learn the power of courage and standing for what is right. Esther's bravery, even facing death, saved her people. It teaches us to use our positions and influence for good, even when it's difficult, and that God works in mysterious ways, often through ordinary people, to fulfill his purposes.